Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now today we're going to be talking about Cardano because obviously there's been the whole entire crypto alt market has been absolutely crushed. So, Cardano, one of those that hasn't held up particularly well, but I do think in the grand scheme of things, I'm actually pretty impressed with how Cardano's doing. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Also, we have heard a rumor that if true, we don't actually know because it is a rumor, but if it is actually true, this could send Cardano flying. So I want to talk a little bit about that as well. What it could mean, how we could prepare for it, a lot of that type of stuff. So anyway, let's move on right along. What we can see here on the crypto bubbles, a little bit of a nice bounce here on the day. Things looking okay generally. If we do look at the week and the month though, things still looking very not okay. One of the things that we will see is that well, actually, we're not going to go over it in this video, but in the video that we talked about yesterday, we talked about how, fear and greed has been neutral, and it's actually even held greed, I think, higher than what a lot of us expected. And when you look at something like this, you would never expect that the market's sitting in neutral, which I think is kind of funny because even when you look at the month too, same type of thing. Things are down pretty horrendous over the past week to month, and yet we're still sitting in neutral. And I think a lot of the reason why is exactly this right here. We can see that basically things kind of wholesale are getting crushed, but Bitcoin's up 5%. And so I think that somewhat optimism with Bitcoin, I guess we could even throw Solana in there as well because Solana is pretty big, but the optimism from both Solana and Bitcoin, I think is holding things a little bit higher than what we would normally expect. Because this is a pretty rough move in the span of 1 week. And so I think that's kind of what a little bit of what we're looking at here and why things are looking a little bit bleak. If we do look at Cardano though, we'll take a look at the chart. I think I'm overall pretty happy with what we're seeing here. So if we look, obviously we had this massive explosion in price to the upside. We did top out here at about $1.30. Then we've made it actually all the way back down here to about 50 cents was where this kind of liquidation wick stopped. So we can see a pullback of almost over 60%, which is crazy. That's a pretty strong move to the downside. However, though, if you look, we can see that we're still well above what our highs prior to this run up were, which is kind of that's the main metric that we're looking for at all times. We can see though Cardano price way oversold here. If you look at the Bollinger Bands pushing against the bottom side of these Bollinger Bands, that's basically what everything not named Bitcoin is doing right now, having a really, really rough time, kind of slipping and falling pretty deep, kind of back from where some of these highs were. However, though, we've talked about this, right? This has been kind of a main feature on my channel recently is this type of stuff happens, right? And we can see that something will pull back 60, 70, 80% and then go do a 10 to 20x from there. So you just always need to remember that. Always make sure that you're not seeing some of these pullbacks and getting a little bit spooked because things can happen. Things can change on a dime, and I think we may be getting to the point where potentially they could. We're seeing massive pessimism within the market. We're seeing a bunch of really fundamentally bullish things happen within the market. When you start to see those things kind of diverge, people kind of slap themselves out of these fear-induced fits that they're having and start to realize, this is actually bullish. Things are actually looking good, right? And so I do think we are going to be seeing potentially a really, really strong move to the upside on everything, right? I think Bitcoin we're going to see go really high. I don't think we've seen it top for the cycle yet. I think the altcoins will kind of follow it. Of course, they'll kind of lag a little bit behind Bitcoin until we see Bitcoin top. But I do think things are looking possible for an altcoin cycle. We've seen a lot of stupidly bullish predictions. I actually saw a post on X where CZ was thinking that Bitcoin should be at $800,000, which seems massively bullish prediction in my mind, but I wouldn't say no, right? That's something that'd be super cool. So, and it's a possibility that we do potentially get there here sooner than we think. But overall, essentially, I guess coming back to what we're seeing on Cardano, this type of bleeding isn't necessarily concerning because of all the other things that we are seeing. So, overall, I'm still feeling pretty good about it. If you are wanting to trade Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sui, I don't know, anything that you guys want to trade, feel free to use my link in the description below to BTCC. They do have that 10% bonus on first-time deposits, as well as extra bonuses up to $10,055 per user. So you could do the math. They're definitely willing to throw a very, very decent chunk of money at you to start trading with them if that is something that you are willing to do. So like I said, something that's totally up to you. No pressure there either way, but this is just a very, very good deal and one of the best deals that I have gotten for my viewers through basically like any exchange. So I'm very happy with that. They also do no VPN or KYC necessary, so if that is something that's important to you, something that should be pretty easy for you guys to work around. So moving on though, I did want to talk about this rumor that we have heard, because the rumor here is that reports claim Elon Musk and Charles Hoskinson will meet at the end of February to discuss putting the US Treasury on Cardano. That's nuts, right? Now, of course, big bold letters here. This is something that, we don't actually know, and this could turn out to be complete nothing. But we have heard Elon talk several different times about how he wants to essentially bring the treasury to accountability and have ways that people can easily audit the payments that are being made, a lot of that type of stuff, which I think is totally fair. I don't think there's any reason why the US taxpayer, particularly when we have the technology, I don't think there's any reason why the US taxpayer shouldn't be able to see what they're spending their money on, right? I think that's fairly fair. We can see here I'm meeting a very special person at the end of the month, so who knows? People, that's why this is a rumor, right? I think people are kind of trying to draw the speculation between the two. There's a whole bunch of special people that Charles Hoskinson could be meeting with, so it's hard to say for sure, but this is the reason that a lot of this is being kind of sparked is because Elon has talked about the need to put the US Treasury on some sort of blockchain solution. That was the main reason that Onyx coin, I believe, went nuts as well. There's a whole bunch of kind of rampant speculation going through the crypto market, but if Cardano is the one that essentially all treasury payments are being put on there, I mean, that's going to be absolutely stupid for Cardano. I mean, they're probably going to 10x in price minimum, if I had to guess, and that's minimum, right? I think it could really go and do some crazy numbers if that were to happen. So again, just a rumor. I wouldn't be buying or doing anything crazy on this sort of news. It's just something that I want to kind of keep you guys up to speed on, because this could potentially turn out to be something huge. But again, it's just a rumor. We don't actually know for sure. Now, moving on though, I did want to take a quick look at this other development that we've seen for Cardano, and that's Swissquote. Swissquote is a bank with over 500,000 clients, and they basically just sent an email out essentially now that Cardano is transferable, and they also did a little bit of an ad for Cardano, I guess you could say. So you can see here, this is a screenshot of what it looks like. Your wallet now supports ADA transfers, designed to revolutionize decentralized finance with its cutting-edge technology and unique validation method. Cardano's ADA token, has firmly established itself as one of the most innovative cryptocurrencies on the market. With its rigorous and scientific approach, Cardano aims to address the scalability and sustainability challenges faced by other blockchains. We are excited to introduce incoming and outgoing transfer options, making ADA even more accessible. So obviously, not a huge thing in my opinion in the grand scheme of things, but that is something that I would say is definitely good news, and I'd definitely be a little bit excited about. But of course, it's not nearly the same caliber as having all treasury payments being put on your network. That is truly something I think would be pretty nuts. So again, like I said, tons of speculation territory, tons of rumor territory going on here. So definitely don't be doing anything too crazy. Nothing that I have said is financial advice, just because I don't know, right? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen for sure. I tend to have a bias that I think we will see alt season still. And I think actually what has happened over the past probably 2 months makes me even more confident that we'll see alt season than before. Before then, it was, it would have been great to see everything just kind of go up only, but the fact that everybody was expecting it, coupled with the fact that things were kind of going up so dramatically, it didn't really seem right to me. So the fact that we are seeing a little bit of this fear, people getting their convictions tested, potentially getting shaken out, a lot of that type of stuff it does actually make me feel a lot better about what we're seeing, within the crypto ecosystem, the altcoins, a lot of that type of stuff. So anyway, like I said, hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please do give me a like and a subscribe, because it really does help me out. I also do have that link to BTCC in the description below if you are interested. And then also, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, feelings, whatever, I do try to read and respond to all of those. I do really appreciate all of your guys' feedback. So if you guys have anything you want me to see, I would say just go on ahead, drop that in the comment section, and I will get back to you. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.